I keep having these great burps of a similar tone of what's that song that starts? And I keep
down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness.
And I keep having these burps and being like, that would have been a great burp for me to burp and do that sound like with the burp. And I just keep letting myself down
with sickness.
Dropped off all the things I love. Like I need a traffic jam to keep in touch. I can't focus on the words unless my hands are busy. I can't give up on the world or I'll leave this city. And it's way too broad what I'm trying to say, but I'll write it down and let it go. And it's hard to know all the words I need to explain my heart in a single note.
Hello, and welcome to WayTooBroad, a show and tell program for really, really, really fucking cold grown-ups. I'm Hannah, and these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Hannah. Hi, Ben.
These are my cold hosts. Am I right?
Oh, I like it.
I'm not cold though. I'm chilling.
I'm a little chilly. Did you say I'm not cold? I'm chilly.
No, I'm chilling.
Oh. Is that not... Chilling is not chilly.
Correct.
Chillin', in fact, doesn't speak at all to temperature.
No, not even a little
Ironically.
No, but it is, like, really the worst one to use when juxtaposed with cold. Yeah.
On the heels of not being... of cold, yeah.
Why?
It's confusing.
In what context has chilling ever meant? When I say I'm chillin', do I ever mean anything about being cold?
So...
Unless it's followed by, like, I'm chilling these cookies before I bake them.
Oh, my goodness. But look, that's the very same word.
Yeah, but I didn't say that.
No, that's chilling. He's chillin'.
Also that.
But when you're chillin' poolside, you're warm.
Mm-hmm. But you're cooling off in the pool.
Side.
Okay, but that's not what that means. Also, when someone says I'm chilling poolside, they're not referring to the fact that they're cooling down in a pool.
Yeah, it doesn't speak to temperature. Oddly, it doesn't.
Doesn't at all.
I can't accept this. I can't accept this conclusion.
It's okay to be wrong. That's fine.
I'm not wrong. I'm a voice for the voiceless of all the people listening to this being like, they're being ridiculous.
Sorry, excuse me.
It's just funny how you haven't been able to provide an example of where it does refer to temperature, though. That's
you both provided two examples for me.
Not if you say I'm chilling.
I'm chilling. Doesn't speak to temperature.
Doesn't refer to temperature at all. You can't. I challenge you to find an example where it does. It refers to my bodily temperature.
We're being ridiculous. We're being ridiculous. We must have misunderstood the prompt of this podcast. Ridiculous, comma, excited grown-up. Right?
That's more accurate, honestly. We should change it to that.
We should. Once again, we change our opening so subtly, no one will ever know.
Erin, I would like to know what you are drinking.
I would like to tell you at this time, I'm drinking a tropical juices with seltzer water. I'm drinking the rest of that seltzer water that didn't go into those tropical juices. I know, I like to keep you on your toes. Gooses. And I'm drinking water that's chilling with some ice.
If I was at...
No comment on temperature.
If I was at a house party in South Florida, okay, let's picture this. I've been at that before, okay, and I was outside, and then I went inside, and someone asked me why I was inside. I would say I'm just chilling, and I would mean both things. I would mean temperature.
But it would be ridiculous. A stretch, and the temperature one would not have legs to stand on without the other one. It would simply be like a clever little twist where you're like, oh, yes. She means chilling.
Yes. Be like, oh, that's a cute play on words.
Yeah.
Of the thing that normally doesn't refer to temperature, you're making it refer to temperature
not
also.
Like a cute
because you can say,
thing.
Listen,
I'm cooling down.
Does it make you feel bad if I say, like, I'm chilling in a hot tub?
No.
Okay, then what are we even talking about?
I literally don't know, honestly. I kind of lost the thread a while back.
Two dudes chilling in a hot tub, 6 feet apart, so it's not gay.
Who's drinking? I don't know who's next.
Who's drinking?
Ben, you're next. Ben, what are you drinking?
I got water. I got a pickle jar of water. You know me.
Nice.
Yo.
I got
pickle jar of water.
Go, little pickle jar. I got a mug of water.
Oh, a soup mug, I'd say.
It's a cool mug.
A mug of cold water.
You know, this actually, okay, so to describe the mug, Erin called it a soup mug. It's not like a big mug, but if I put it next to my head, but it's wider on the bottom, and then it gets narrower at the top, and then it also flutes out a little at the top, and it also has a big red H on it.
Flutes is a really fun verb.
It's so good. It's so good. Is that?
I thought you were gonna say flares out, but I like flutes out more.
Well, and a word I use often is floof for like when you fart under the covers. Like, don't floof the covers. So flutes I really like because that's the same kind of momentum out.
Yeah.
Like floof, except it's like a flute. I think it's great. Great.
Wow.
Keep it up.
You. Thanks. So I like this mug as a mug, but it's really annoying in the cabinet because it's like too narrow for other mugs or anything to nest into it. It's completely unstackable with other mugs.
Because of the flute. And
it takes up a lot of space because it's so big on the, like, kind of not even the bottom, like the middle. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. But Ian bought it for me one random ass day. He just came home with a mug on it, and he was like, I got you this mug because it has an H on it.
He came home with a mug on it. On what? What? You said
he came home with a mug on
it. On what, madam? On what? Did I say that?
I can't wait for you to hear that in the edit.
Oh my fucking god. Let me be here to tell you 100% did. I think you were thinking ahead to with the H on it.
Yes. That's definitely it. With a mug with an H on it.
Yeah.
Scrunched together.
In my head, I 100% said he came home with a mug on some random ass day. And it had an H on it.
Nope. He said he came home with a mug on it. Don't try to backpedal. We know the truth. The truth is out.
He came home with a mug on it.
No.
We're not going to explain what it is.
So, this is something I remember about you, that you feel perfectly comfortable drinking water out of a mug, which is not something I do, because to me that's temperature correlated. But this makes more sense to me now, because you're like, fuck temperature of all sorts, because you're eating cold food, you're eating frozen cream puffs, water out of a mug, no problemo.
Ice cream out of a mug, love that.
Love ice cream out of a mug, absolutely. But like warm, but like cool water out of a mug is just.
I feel like also you mentioned
Wrong.
stacking mugs.
Yeah.
I feel like stacking mugs, no matter the mugs involved, is always a dangerous game.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like every time I see mugs stacked, I'm always scared of them falling out of the cabinet.
but like, but I'm not like doing it like 3 high, but like but we have enough height on the
You're
shelf.
making a mug tower?
No, I'm not making mug towers. I'm just making little mug stunt partners, let's say. I've been watching Cheer, you see.
Yeah.
So you get that like the big mug are the ones that kind of V outwards, right?
The men.
Sturdy base mugs, right? And then
The men.
put the flyers on top of them. Yeah. Yeah. And
The petite women.
yeah. Which are like the little petite mugs. So that feels very sturdy to me. But then this one is neither. This one is what you might call a stumbler, which is a stunter / tumbler.
Tumbler.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not a good name.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
That's what they're called.
Wow.
So yeah, we watched.
Well,
both
that's
seasons.
a nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice upfront. You've watched both seasons. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. We like went pretty slowly through the entire like both seasons, like to sort of, you know, prolong it. I thought, as you stated in your we're talking about Cheer on Netflix, as you stated in your obsession, Erin, the second season was really fascinating in like a dozen different ways, including like the context of the first season. Another thing that was totally fascinating to me about the second season is how much press attention they all got. And I had, until you brought it to this podcast, Erin, not a single clue that show existed. And it really made me realize
Me too.
how disconnected I am from like most pop culture. Like we don't watch any network television. Like we don't really watch the news. Like did not know that any of those people existed at all.
Yeah, they were like on Ellen. Joe Biden was talking to him.
Yeah.
They were like fucking everywhere.
Dancing with the Stars. Like,
Dancing
Joby
with the
Biden?
Stars. Joby Biden. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Which I
And you're
heard
you're
that Joe
too-
Biden declared that it's not going to be winter anymore after this week.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Actually,
Thanks, Joe.
well, I texted him and asked him if that was cool. And he was like, fucking A, great idea.
Thanks, Erin.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Thanks. Yeah, winter's over. If you're listening to this, winter's gone. Spring.
You know, it is.
Time.
I don't know if it's like this where everyone listening is, but it's actually starting to stay, you know, relatively light out up until around 5 now, which is a huge progress from where we were this time last month. Let me
Still
tell
not good.
you. Still not good.
Still not good.
Yeah. But it's getting better.
Could be better.
Yeah.
Man, I saw my phone give me a picture the other day. It'll be like, hey, look at these pictures. And it was like of me sitting outside with like a margarita in my shorts with my tan legs and a patina of sweat. And I was like, oh man, I'm excited for that season.
I have another upfront as well.
What's up?
Because the last time we recorded, I hadn't gotten my tattoo yet, right?
Oh, you hadn't. You absolutely hadn't.
Yeah.
And the listeners were curious about pain tolerance and how that all went. So give a full update. And I
Okay.
want to see it on camera right now.
Okay. I was just realizing I also haven't checked our email.
We got nothing but spam.
Wow, someone else inquiring about our artwork. Okay.
You might be
Popular
onto
artwork.
something with that being an NFT scam. by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, and that was something I thought of afterwards. Because, okay, does this one ask for PDFs? Okay, well, let's do this first since we're already here. Okay, I observed your works on Google. I will pay you $505,000. Send me PDF photos and a price list. So both of these spam emails asking for artwork have asked for PDFs. So I said to Erin and Ben on Slack after we recorded that maybe they were trying to get their hands on just like, you know, artwork, like looking stuff that wasn't already on the internet that they could mint into NFTs to try to make money off of them. And because you could just,
Wow, these are the exact same email.
yeah, it's just like same wording, except he has, oh no, they even say about their wife. Okay. Yeah, so that's interesting. So I don't know, because I know that DeviantArt is having anybody who has art on DeviantArt is getting like emails constantly because DeviantArt rolled out a feature that will detect for you if it sees something similar to like a picture that you've posted of your own art on an NFT like exchange site or whatever, it'll send you an email that's like, hey, we detected this, like, just in case you don't know. And like a lot of people are getting just like dozens of them because people are just looking anywhere for stuff that they can sell as NFTs, which is bullshit. I fucking hate NFTs. Let me make my position perfectly clear. Here's the tattoo on my arm.
Fuck yeah.
Dude.
Oh, it looks so
Wow,
good.
so cute.
So cute. So the design, I did not see till I got there, which is like pretty standard for tattoo artists. I think sometimes they'll send it like a day or two in advance, but often not. So I showed up without knowing what it was going to be exactly. Like we had emailed back and forth about it, but we had talked about having a bleeding heart on it because we had a big bleeding heart plant in front of our last house.
Where that came from?
Yeah, there was a bleeding heart plant that when Ian and I were clearing out the backyard at our house, at our last house, we found it in like what used to be a garden bed in the backyard, but it had been completely like grown over before we cleared it out. And we were like, we don't want this plant here, but we don't want to like throw it away. So we transplanted it from the backyard to the front yard. And we weren't sure if it was going to survive, but there was more sun up there. And I guess bleeding hearts are like pretty robust because it totally lived, and it like came back every year and just got bigger and bigger. So, and actually when I showed the picture of it to the tattoo artist, like the actual one that was in our front yard, she said she had never seen one that big before, which actually I don't know if I've seen one bigger anywhere particularly. But yeah, so it, you know, Jack lived most of his life in that house, so I thought that was fitting. Mm-hmm. And also they're like a symbol of love and also kind of like heartbreak, but like everlasting love. And so I thought that,
and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. And I like think of him, I always thought of him as like just a being made of pure love, and that's why I was so fine with him being just like fully stupid, because he didn't have room for like brains and stuff, because he just was like made of love. So. And he's just like, it's from a picture of him that I had, and he's just like looking up at basically me when I have my arm down, which is really nice. And yeah, the whole experience was pretty great. It took about 4.5 to 5 hours to do, like, it's a full color, like actually went bigger than I had planned on. I had planned on like a 5-inch tattoo, and this is maybe more like 6 or 7, like top to bottom. It's like basically centered on my left forearm, like the top of it. And let me think. I got there, she showed me the art. I wanted something changed on his eyes a little bit, just to make him look a little bit more like vacant, and she was able to do that.
I love that so much. And she did it perfectly. She has a cat that is kind of stupid also, so she knew what I was talking about. Yeah.
And then we just like, so then she printed out a few different, like, she printed out on paper a few different sizes, and that's how I decided to go bigger. Was I just kind of looked at it in a mirror, and I decided that looked best. And then what they do is, I don't think every artist does this, but a lot do. They'll take like just the line work of it and print it onto like some kind of transfer paper with like a blue ink, and then they stick that to your arm or whatever, your skin, and then like peel it off. So there's like an outline for them to start with, and then they will go from darkest to lightest in ink color. So if it's just a black and white tattoo, it'll just be like black and then white. But if it's like with mine, it had like, I don't even know how many colors. Like it looked like 12 or so. It went from black to like dark green to like the dark pink in the flowers. So it was kind of like watching someone fill in a paint by numbers, except there were like no numbers. And then finishing with white highlights. So like the sparkle in his eyes and the little dots on his nose and like all that kind of fun stuff, and his white whiskers. And it painful? There were parts of my arm where it was like it made me wince, especially after a while of it. But overall, it wasn't bad. Like I definitely like was immediately like, oh, this isn't like I've had, like, I think cramps are a decent preparation for it in terms of like I've dealt with a lot worse and pushed through it. Like they had like TV going so you could distract yourself, because the like gun thing that they use, or the pen thing, like kind of vibrates. You also just it kind of feels a little numb after a while. Like you're not really feeling it that intensely. It matters a lot where on your body they're tattooing. Like generally, if it's a place that has like less fat, like on your like head or you know like the back of your knee or whatever, like that's supposed to hurt a lot more. But this particular spot is not like a particularly sensitive one. I would really like to get more tattoos. I think it was overall like a pretty great experience. I would like to get them from like a bunch of different artists, but also maybe go back to her eventually at some point.
It's so beautiful. I was just looking at the picture you had sent while you were talking, and it's just a really well done, beautiful tattoo. Like the intricacies of the fur is really beautiful, and it really just looks just like him. So
it looks just like him. It looks it's great. I spent a lot of time picking out an artist, and I'm really glad that I did. I don't think everybody needs to do that. Like, Mom was talking to me about how she feels like she didn't do any research at all because watching like Kylie and me looking for a tattoo artist because she just like went to a local place. And I think that's like a perfectly valid way to find a tattoo artist. But for this particular tattoo, like I would have been sad if it didn't look just like him. And so I needed to find someone whose style of cat art specifically I really loved. And she was that for me, but she also just really great like other like woodland creatures and stuff, and I just really like to go back to her for more of that. But I also want to try.
What's her name? Can you like plug?
Oh yeah. Her name is Michelle Stecker. She is at Right in the Trash on Instagram.
Love that.
And she works at Tooth and Nail Tattoo in Naugatuck, Connecticut, which I thought was 3 hours for me, but actually was only a little over 2 hours, which is nice.
Oh, great.
And yeah, she's great. And she, I can't tell if her books are open, but I think they are. So
oh my
yeah.
gosh, I totally see why you picked her. Looking at this Instagram, there's a great cat one right off the bat.
She's got a lot of great cats on here. The one that actually sold me is the chipmunk with the mushrooms, with the little red mushrooms and the berries. I just love him a lot. So I was, there's this way of drawing cats that a lot of tattoo artists have, and it's not that it's bad, but like they put this weird line on the bridge of their nose, and I don't understand why, and I don't think I've ever seen a cat that actually has a line there. And I was looking for someone who doesn't do that. And she's just really good at drawing like lifelike animals, I think, as well as lots of other things. She's a big fan of snails. Like that's like her thing she likes to tattoo the most, which seems to be a thing a lot of tattoo artists have. And she has she has like cat mom in her Instagram bio. She has like a whole like set of Instagram highlights of like her cats. We talked about her cats and my cats and our new kittens and that whole process and everything, and we had lots to talk about, and also watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia the entire afternoon. So it was nice. I would recommend.
Beautiful work. Is she gonna post yours on Insta?
Probably, yeah. She said she's behind on posts, so these are ones like the top ones are not even like more recent than me probably. I mean, she seemed to, I will say this, I wouldn't be like upset if she didn't. I think like there are a lot of reasons why artists sometimes don't post work, but I did tell her that she's welcome to if she wants to. So
cool. Now, question, I don't think a lot of people ask this. Does she own that part of your arm? Does she own the artwork on your arm? Does she have a legal right to your skin?
I don't think she minted it, so I think I'm fine.
Did you get that in writing?
No, I didn't.
What are the legalities of tattoos? Is anyone monetizing this?
Non-fungible tattoos.
Can we make this tattoo? Is that what NFT stands for?
That's why you had to have the little pouch over it, so it would be non-fungible, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The healing process is really interesting they put this, well, not everybody does this, but this particular place, they put this sticker on it. I think it's called like Sanoderm, and it's like a clear kind of breathable plastic sticker that holds in all the, because when you get a tattoo, it like weeps out like some of the ink that doesn't need right afterwards. And it's cool at first, and then it gets really gross because it starts to dry out, and then it's just like a sludge underneath. And I was like really worried it was gonna like stain my skin, but it didn't. It washed right off. So
that's what the tattoo is.
Yeah, I know. I was worried it was gonna stain it over the tattoo that I wanted. And then it peels, and now I'm at the stage where it's itching, which is not the most fun stage, I would say.
Let me put it this way. If that could have stained your skin, they wouldn't have stuck a bunch of tiny needles in your skin over and over again for hours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's a great point, you know.
If it were that easy.
Yeah. You're right. Okay, cool. Do we have other upfronts?
Fuck no.
Erin?
Why is my dog barking?
That's an interesting upfront.
Yeah, you guys get to guess.
Is there a person here?
What?
There? Here?
I certainly fucking
Is there a
hope
person
not.
at Hannah's house and that's making Henry bark at your house?
I was telling you I certainly hope not, and then I texted Molly, why is Henry not? But I meant to say, why is Henry barking?
Why is Henry not?
No, why is Henry not? I certainly fucking hope that no one's at my house. No one should be at my house. Up front. Nope.
Them are popping in.
Wow.
All right. Is he
I
still
was like,
barking?
wow, such an early pop, but we've been recording for 30 minutes. It is not an early pop. We're right on
Yeah.
track.
I talked about the tattoo thing for a while, so. Oh, I can give a super quick kitty update. They're becoming less and less interesting, and I'll probably stop after this because basically, like, the cats have integrated like pretty flawlessly at this point. They're doing great. I just wanted to give this last update to say I'm so fucking proud of all of them. Like, Squeak still hisses at the cats sometimes when they get too close, but like I've seen Moose and Squeaks touch noses several times. I've seen Squeak sniff Moose's butt. I've seen the like their and their cuddle. Well, Moose and Hank are cuddle puddled on my bed right now, being so cute. They're like getting very comfortable. Oh, and this morning, past 2 mornings, Hank and Moose have both followed me into the bathroom, and this morning Hank was like nuzzling around my legs when I was like walking around and standing up and stuff, which is huge because they have been like kind of like the type to scatter when you walk near them, like ever since we brought them home. So that's like a lot of trust that he's putting in me. So I'm very happy with how they're getting along with everyone, including us.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're learning that you're gentle giants.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful.
All right, let's pop in. Erin, what is your obsession?
I have one. My obsession is a television show on Hulu.
Oh, what is it?
Any guesses?
Hoarders.
Television show on
What'd you say,
Hulu.
Hannah?
I said hoarders.
No.
Is it the reboot of Joe Millionaire?
Wow. Are you two attempting to guess this by first eliminating what it's certainly not?
Is it Abbott Elementary?
No. Are you just going through the Hulu list in alphabetical order?
Okay, kind of, but also I've heard that's a really good show and it's on Hulu.
To be fair, I did watch an episode of Hoarders on Hulu this week, but I was kind of disgusted with the way that they treated the hoarders themselves in the edit, so I didn't watch any more of it.
Yeah. Yep. I have
no idea.
It's called Only Murders in the Building.
Oh,
is that the Steve Martin and Martin Short one?
Yeah. Have either of you seen it?
no,
but I've heard it's really good.
Oh, it's great. So I haven't finished it yet. I think we're about to start episode 9, and I think there's 12 episodes. There might be 10. I think there's 12. So this is a show that Molly watched and recommended, and other folks have watched it too. I think my mom recommended. So I had heard only good things, and it's delightful. So this is a show that Steve Martin co-created with the producer or with the showrunner. Love that dude. And I think this is his first television show. I think this is his television debut. And
what?
Yeah, and it has Martin Short and Selena Gomez, and the three of them are executive producers on the show, which is delightful. And I love Martin Short. I've always been a Martin Short fan, and he's just like at his fucking best in this show. So this show, I'm gonna read I don't want to give too much away, so I'm just gonna read like the IMDb synopsis so as to not accidentally like spill any beans. Let's see, what does it say? Follows three strangers, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, who share an obsession with true crime and suddenly find themselves wrapped up in one. When a grisly death occurs inside their exclusive Upper West Side apartment building, the trio suspects murder and employs their precise knowledge of true crime to investigate the truth. As they record a podcast of their own to document the case, the three unravel complex secrets of the building which stretch back years. Perhaps even more explosive are the lies they tell one another. Soon the endangered trio comes to realize the killer might be living amongst them as they race to decipher the mounting clues before it's too late. You know.
Whoa, you didn't tell me there was a podcast in it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's so cute and so fucking funny and has a bunch of like delightful like guest stars, and it's artsy and beautiful to look at, and it's just like a feel good comedy for true crime lovers, and I just like laugh so much at it. It's so nice and good.
That sounds
Hell
nice.
yeah.
It's nice.
Is it like, what's the blend of like, so it's about murder, right? So does it get like scary at points?
No, it's like goofy. It's like a pure comedy, but in like a really great, in a great way. It's like never stupid and never like, it's like almost over the top sometimes, but it's like, it's not a dark comedy. It's just like a really good, wholesome, like quality comedy.
Okay.
Is what I would say. And it's just like so nice. Like Martin Short and Steve Martin have great chemistry together, and they both have great chemistry with Selena Gomez. And it's just like really sweet. And they all like become like sweet little friends. It's just nice. Sweet little friends.
That sounds great.
I would love for y'all to watch it and report back. I just laugh and laugh. And there's just like, it's just really funny. And you can tell like Martin Short and Steve Martin are like ad-libbing, right? Like I have to wonder like how much of this was filmed with them just like riffing. Because like just some of the stuff that comes out is just like so good. And I'm like, they absolutely just like made that up on the spot.
What prompted you to like give it a shot? Like, did you see a review or something?
This is a great question. Molly, Molly watches everything. Molly consumes a lot of content and then comes to me and says, let's watch this. I think you'll like it. We were in the market we watch shows together when we eat on the weekdays, and we're in the market for the next one. You know, I'm persnickety about what we watch, as I think we all can be. And we have a candidate for one I want to watch, but it's one of those ones that's like, you know, coming out with an episode every week. So I'm like, we need something more established. And she was like, oh, I just finished this one. I think it's great. I think you'll really like it. So, and I do.
Gotta put your trust in Molly. She's a great curator of all types of things.
Molly knows me best out of anybody, so I feel I like really trust her gut on what I'm gonna like.
Yeah, I was thinking more about how lately Molly has been sharing with us on request the outcomes of like any of her like house research as well, like household stuff research. Like I bought the towels that you guys gave us for gave us in our room for Thanksgiving because they were so nice. And like
I bought the towels that you guys gave us.
It was a try before you buy type of thing.
I paid you for the towels.
Are you trying to say you stole towels from us and then sent Molly some money?
Yeah, I left some change under the dresser. So
under it.
Yeah. I haven't bought them yet because they were sold out at the time, but like Molly sent us the link to where she got the lights that you guys have in your windows because I liked them so much over Thanksgiving. Also the bidet that I now also have was because of Molly's research. So we're just all benefiting from the depth of Molly's knowledge on so many things.
It's so true. Yeah, Ben's drinking out of pickle jars.
Yeah.
I live in a house full of nice and thoughtful things because Molly is nice and thoughtful and fills her house with them. So it's great.
So nice.
And I just kick my feet up and be like, make me a sandwich. It's beautiful. JK, big
Wow.
JK there. Big JK there. So, so shout out to Molly. Thanks for the rec and the rewatch with me. What a delight. What a great show. Loving that.
Big shout out
and
to
it's renewed for, I think there's going to be a season 2.
Cool.
So, okay, Molly sent me an update. She said, I don't know, but he came to lay with me.
Oh, okay.
And so she's trying to do a yoga class online, and he's lying right in front of her computer, so that's good.
What a good boy.
Good boy. That's all I got.
Cool.
Hannah, what are you doing?
Just reading.
And could you be more obviously
I'm
distracted?
just reading our other spam mail because it's another like, oh, you paid $400 for something on PayPal, but like it's so the receiving date says day after place the order in all caps with a period at the end. It's like so fucking fake. This one is trying to get you to call a phone number. I can tell that right away. Anyway, should we pop into Ben?
Ben!
Yes.
What's your obsession, Ben?
I have a rarity.
Oh.
I have 2 rarities actually.
What? Ooh, B-sides.
I have a double obsession. And they're
B-sides
both
extended edition.
they're both pre-obsessions.
Oh.
In that they're 2 things that I know I'm going to be obsessed with very soon, but they both come out tomorrow. So in fact, I suspect one of them will be my proper obsession next week. But this is like a preview.
Okay.
Is this why you had a soft preference for recording tonight so that you could fully indulge your obsession tomorrow?
Interesting.
Correct.
Interesting.
That's beautiful.
Yes. So the 2 things are, the first is a new Pokemon game.
Oh.
Called Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I've seen
And
previews.
then the other is a new animated series, and it's Critical Role's animated series called The Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh.
And they both come out Friday, January 28th. So when you're listening to this, listeners, they're both out already.
When you're listening to this in spring, because that's when, after today.
Anytime you're
right.
listening to this, it's been out.
It's spring. It's actually spring forever.
Oh, yeah, right.
No. It's permanent spring.
That's
Thanks,
such
Joby
good
Biden.
news. Thanks,
Joe.
Joby Biden.
We were supposed to have a big snowstorm this weekend, so that's great news that it's going to be spring instead.
Yep, that's canceled, baby.
Sweet. Now do student debt.
So Pokemon's Legend. I keep saying Pokemon's Legends instead of Pokemon Legends. It's really hard. Pokemon
Why is it
Legends.
hard? Why is that hard? Like, none of the other Pokemon games end in an S. You don't say Pokemon's Sword and Shield.
Yeah, but they also, the name of those games isn't Pokemon Swords and Shields. This one is Pokemon Legends.
Do you always have trouble pluralizing both things when the last thing ends in plural?
Yeah, Erin, it's really
I don't
hard.
feel like this is that uncommon of a thing.
You're right.
And you're both treating me like I'm a dumbass for it.
Yeah.
hard. Okay.
Yeah, but
This
Han
is
is
like a
agreeing
common
with
issue.
you. Han's agreeing with you. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Spence.
Pokemon Legends Arceus is very different from every other Pokemon game. So it takes place in like the ancient version of an existing Pokemon region called Sinnoh, but the ancient name is Hisui. And you're like the sort of premise of the game is that you're you're like part of a small group of people kind of like settling this region, this like wild region that is just like basically wilderness and Pokemon, and humans haven't like fully, I guess tamed is the word, Pokemon. Like you can get like actually attacked by wild Pokemon in this game. And it's also, a lot of things are very different in that like you don't, instead of just like getting random encounters, like you see Pokemon in the overworld, which has been in a few Pokemon games now, but you also just can like from the overworld throw a Pokeball at them to try and catch them, which was always a thing in the anime, but was never in an actual game, and now it is. But like if you fail a number of times, then it actually triggers a Pokemon battle with them. And I'm really excited. The reviews have been like, have basically said it's really exciting that Pokemon is doing something different. And like they definitely missed the mark on a few things just because they were like changing so many things at once. But overall, it was still like a really fun and enjoyable experience. So I'm really looking forward to that, especially because the last Pokemon game that came out recently in November, which was a remake of older games, was like a very true remake. I think I had this in Obsession, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. It was like very true to the original games, almost to the point of like, wow, you could have done like something different. And now it's like this new game's coming out and it is like completely different from older Pokemon games.
They're like loading you up with Pokemon games, huh?
Hell yeah, I love it.
Nice.
I love Pokemon.
It looks
Say you
it
are
looks
a
pretty. I'm
Pokemon?
looking at it's stills.
It looks
Yeah,
pretty,
he's
right?
a Pokemon's. Yeah, it looks.
It looks very cool. They released some new Pokemon with it also in this region, and some new some alternate forms of older Pokemon, which is cool. Always cool. It's just, I'm very excited to try it. I think it's going to be really fun to have like a new, like somewhat familiar, because like your goal is ultimately still to like catch them all and fill the Pokedex, but there's no like gyms or anything like in older ones, and no like Pokemon League challenge. Like from what I understand, like whereas in older games like progression in the story is like gated by getting more badges, in this one it's like gated by filling up your Pokedex. Like you actually need to complete Pokedex challenges, and you're like, the premise is you're part of the Survey Corps, and you're basically like filling the first Pokedex in history is the idea.
Cool. That sounds very exciting.
I agree. I think it seems super fun. I'm like,
And there's
going
to be brand new Pokemon. Sorry if you said that.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Did you say it was is it an open world game? Did you say that?
Ish. Apparently, I don't know like how open, but
like the stills give me like Breath of the Wild vibes. And
Yes.
I wonder on purpose, right?
I don't think it's like as open as Breath of the Wild.
Like this is a very like that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely has a feel of like big open wilderness to explore Breath of the Wild, but like in Breath of the Wild, from the start, once you get off the plateau, you can just like go anywhere with like nothing is really like
gated
for you, whatever.
Gated for you from you.
Yeah, but I think in this game there are like areas of the overall world that you can't go to until you completed certain story events. So it's like not quite open, but like kind of certainly more than previous Pokemon games, which is like a straight line through the story, and like go to this town, go to the next town, to the next town. Like it's definitely not like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
cool. I might pick that one up.
And now
too.
obsession number 2. You should.
Oh.
Pre-obsession number 2. The Legend of Vox Machina. Which was the Kickstarter Critical Role did originally to do just one animated special based on their first campaign. They ended up raising the most money of any Kickstarter in history.
Holy shit.
And said I think they decided they were going to do like 3 episodes based on that or something. And then they got picked up by Amazon, and they're doing a whole season and possibly another season. And the reviews for that have been like very, very good. They just recently revealed some of the cast, and now I need to look that up because I want to remember. There's like some wild names in here. Okay. One I know for sure. They got Stephanie Beatriz in this business.
Nice.
Wow.
They got Tony Hale. They got David Tennant. They got Felicia Day. They got fucking Indira Varma from Game of Thrones. And Grey Griffin, who is voiced like, or Grey Delisle, I think is actually what she goes by now. Who's voiced like every fucking villain in cartoons. Like she was Azula in Avatar: The Last Airbender. She was Vicky in Fairly Odd Parents. She's been in a bunch of things. Did I say Tony Hale already? I think I did. It's just very, very exciting. And I don't actually know much about like. I know that I believe it takes place. So the first campaign was like actually just a home Dungeons and Dragons game, and then they started streaming it with like pretty far into the campaign. And I believe that this show takes place pre the stream starting, so it's like technically story that even people who watch campaign 1 haven't actually seen because it was during the home game, which is kind of cool. Isn't that fun? Imagine your home Dungeons and Dragons game becoming a animated show.
Wow.
Like that's so cool. And yeah, I'm really, really excited because I think it's going to be very good. All the reviews have been very good. It was made with the animation studio was Titmouse, who's done a lot of stuff that I can't remember now. I think they did fucking what's it called? Thing. Help.
Thing.
Big Mouth? Big Mouth maybe?
Big Mouth is a show.
Did they do Big Mouth?
Who?
I should have gotten that on Thing.
Yes, they did do Big Mouth.
Who?
You just shut up.
Who?
Titmouse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure.
Ben.
They did. I looked it up. Yeah.
Ben, do you feel like... I thought of a grosser way to say this, but I thought of a better way to say this. Do you feel like you are flying too close to the obsession sun this week? Like, you're going to be, for the next week, obsessed with both of these things. You don't think you could have saved one? Like, what are you going to possibly bring next week, Ben?
I'm going to bring one or both of these.
Okay.
Again.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because right now, I'm obsessed with like the fact that these are coming out this Friday, and honestly, that we have a big snowstorm this Saturday where I can just chill out inside and watch this new show and then play Pokemon.
Unless you lose power.
True, but the Switch's got battery.
That's true. That's true.
And I already downloaded the game, so we're good there.
Cool. Do you guys want to hear the grosser way I was going to ask that, or are you good?
Please
I think I might.
I was going to...
No. Yeah, go ahead.
You think, you want to feel that one,
Something
Hannah?
about shooting his wad too early?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, did you shoot your obsession load too early?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. I love
who knows?
it.
Maybe something else will pop up next week. Pop.
Papa.
Pop.
Well, great. I'm excited for you. I might pick up this old Pokemon game. How much? What's the price point on that one?
City.
Whew. That's steep.
Hey, you know.
I'm so
it's a new game.
frustrated because I'm trying to find a good map of what the snowfall totals are going to be this weekend. I mean, I'll know by the time this comes out. I'll look like a fool, but like it's like anywhere. It's definitely going to be like probably a foot or more around where my parents are. For me, it's going to be anywhere from like 4 to fucking like 18 inches.
You know,
God.
this is It's funny you mentioned that. I follow. Have I talked about Matthew Capucci before?
No.
He's a meteorologist that I went to high school with, and I now follow on Twitter because he tweets a lot about helpful weather stuff. I think he lives in DC now, but he's actually been tweeting like all week about how, for some reason, this particular storm has been very hard for meteorologists to forecast. I don't really know why, but he's been like saying how it's just been like it's been an especially difficult storm to forecast properly. So that may be why you're seeing such wild ranges.
Dang, it's making me angry. Can you ask Matthew Capucci how much snow I'm going to get? Please?
No.
What is his
I'm not
Twitter
gonna do
name?
that.
Give him a shout out. What's this?
I think his Twitter name is Matthew Capucci.
I searched Matthew Capucci. How do you spell it?
Cappucci.
Ah, I found him.
It is Matthew Capucci.
Thank you. I was spelling it like kind of like a monkey, like that kind of, not like this at all.
Kind of like a monkey.
Yeah, like a capuchin. That's a kind
like
of
a monkey would. She means like a monkey would spell it.
That's what I thought you
I
meant.
think a capuchin is a type of monkey, like with an IN at the
Are you
end.
thinking of a cappuccino?
No, look it up. I'm pretty sure. He thinks
Spell
I'll
it.
get 6 inches, 6
Oh,
to
I
12
got it.
inches, maybe. Capuchin. Hold on.
Yeah, I figured Capuchin.
UCHIN. Yeah. I was spelling it kind of more like that. Anyway.
Okay.
So I'm going to trust Matthew because you said he knows his shit. I think that's what you said. He thinks I'm going to get...
Ben vouches for Matthew Capucci.
He says I'll get about 6 to 12 inches-ish around me, so...
I'm going to get 12 to 18.
Yeah, and Mom and Dad are supposed to get 18 to 24.
That's unusual for
Christ.
us to get more snow than you.
Yes, it is. Mom
Yes.
Mom just posted a video in our family Marco Polo of their snow situation right now, which is to say there is no snow on the ground at their house. We're about 2 hours northwest of them, and we've had 4 to 8 inches of snow on the ground since I don't even know how long now, like at least a week or two. So,
Well, send us the info.
send us the info, please. All right. Let's
Send us the info.
pop into me now.
Hannah, what's
That's my obsession. Okay. I got one.
Whoa.
All right, what is it?
Okay.
What is it?
All right.
If you're so tough.
What?
If you're so tough, what's your obsession?
Okay, well, I have to say like a low level sub-session shout out to an account I found on TikTok just before I came in here. I haven't watched enough of it to be able to speak much to her, but I think she's really cool. Her @ is North Omaha Cat Lady with underscores between all the words, and she does mostly like duets, cooking videos. Like there's this genre of cooking videos on TikTok which are like, I don't know if it would be offensive to call them exotic, but like people in like rural areas of like China and just like other countries that are far from here will sort of document their traditional cooking practices, but on really good cameras in a TikTok format and post them without explanation of what they're doing. And they're fascinating to watch, but like most of the time you really don't.
There's like a YouTube channel I used to watch that did that.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful
in rural
ones
China.
On YouTube as well. But yeah, they're really cool to watch, but a lot of times you do not know what you're looking at, like in terms of food, like what they're doing or why. And she is just like a person who likes to watch those too, and is really good at researching them, and also has watched a lot of like Food Network and paid a lot of attention. She's not like a chef or anything, but she'll like duet those videos on TikTok and like explain to you what they're doing. And then like, and in a way that is like, she often ends them with like, food unites us. Like she's like in an appreciating way, not in like a judgmental way. Yeah, that's her.
That her?
Yep.
Cool.
I saw one that was like a joke where she was just making what the fuck is that?
That's what her first post that I see.
I don't know.
Do you not see that?
Yeah, I see it. I see it. It's a woman with huge breasts. I don't know what that's about.
Do you have that on your TikTok app?
I was just looking. Hold on.
Guess my age. Do you have that on your TikTok app?
I don't know. That's clearly not a food video. So she posts other things too sometimes. But see, this is why I didn't want to bring her as like a full obsession, because I don't know a ton about her yet. But I just really like her food.
Can't vouch for her yet. Unlike how Ben can vouch for Matthew Capucci, Hannah cannot vouch for North Omaha Cat Lady.
That's right. But if you've ever watched those videos and been like, what the fuck am I looking at? She might be a good resource for that. Okay, my real obsession, which I would like to tell you about today, is a show on Netflix. It is another show that I just found because it was trending and walked in basically completely blind with no idea whether it was good or not.
Well, great. Do we get to guess?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Ben, any guesses? Oh, I think I know.
You said it was a Netflix show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheer.
I already told you I watched Cheer.
Okay, I totally know this because I know that it's trending on Netflix. It's Cocomelon.
What the fuck is that?
It's a kid's show.
No.
It's number 6 on Netflix right now.
No, it's not that. Any other guesses?
Is it Ozark?
No.
It's Emily in Paris, of course.
No, hell no.
Is it Cobra Kai?
No.
Is it The Royal Treatment?
No.
Is it Cobra Kai?
Is it Too Hot to Handle?
No, but I will watch that. I think I watched the last season.
Is it Getting Curious? Is that out?
No, it's not out yet.
With Jonathan
Is it with
Van
JVN?
Ness?
Oh!
Yeah.
Is it Archive 81?
Yes. Great job.
Oh, I've heard of that.
I haven't.
Did I hear about that from you?
No, I don't think so.
I've heard that it's number 2 in the US today.
I heard about it from Kylie, from some of her work.
With Cheer being number 1, BT dubs.
Yeah. So I was on Netflix because I was watching Cheer, and then I saw Archive 81, and I was like, I think I'll watch that. And then I watched it, and now I've seen all of it that is out so far. So
What's it about?
I'll read you the short description. Here it is. An archivist takes a job restoring damaged videotapes and gets pulled into the vortex of a mystery involving the missing director and a demonic cult.
Oh.
A demonic cult.
So it follows this
Satanic Panic much? Am I right?
Yeah, it's very okay. So here's the thing. You know how I said like I walked in and like I didn't know whether it was good or not, and like I still don't know whether it was good or not. It's getting like decently good reviews, but like at the end of the day, sometimes I don't know if you guys have had this experience. Sometimes I'll like talk about a show because I'm watching it on this podcast, and then I'll like later on I'll see some review that's like, man, this show is so stupid, and then I feel guilty for having recommended it to people. And I don't think this is going to be a situation like that, because I did like I said, lightly screen the reviews, and it seems like it's doing okay on Rotten Tomatoes, it's doing okay on IMDb, but like I have also suddenly realized that like I actually don't care. Like I guess I'll give the disclaimer that like maybe my taste is bad in some things, from an objective standpoint, and like and like actually as a listener who's been here for like at least one episode, what about me makes you think that I'm like a great film critic? Like that's not really what I'm bringing to the table exactly.
You're coming in a little defensive. Like number 1, anyone's claiming this is a recommendations podcast, and like number 2, anyone has ever been like, excuse me, Hannah, I watched fucking Joe Millionaire on your recommendation and it was terrible.
Yeah, no, I just was thinking about that because I started to worry about bringing this show because I was like, is it good? And then I was like, actually, that's not the point. Like, we don't bring things because they're good. Like, maybe they are, but we bring them because we're enjoying them, right? So
that's right, because you are finding joy and value, and that's what we're interested in,
right? So I don't want to talk too much about the plot. I'll just tell you like some stuff that happens within the first episode or so, and then I'll tell you kind of like how it made me feel. And I won't go too much deeper than that.
And then tell us something that happened in the last episode or so, just to round it out.
So the show follows the story of this guy named Dan. He is, like it says, an archivist. So he works at like a museum, I think, that restores damaged like old media. So like, you know, film and also audio stuff. I think I saw somewhere that maybe this was based off a podcast, loosely based off of a podcast, which is interesting because I immediately it made me think of like 3 podcasts that I've listened to, but it wasn't any of those because I guess that podcast has the same name, so I don't know. But it's a popular sort of like horror and suspense podcast conceit to have this like person who's searching through old media or restoring old media or whatever.
Fucking snap.
What?
You okay? Is your chair broken?
I don't know.
You shouldn't.
It snapped?
God damn it. It didn't. It like just. It like won't sit up all the way now.
What the fuck?
It's fine. It's
a
fine.
ghost. It's a ghost. So yeah, he's working in his like archiving job or whatever, and then he's working on restoring this old movie, and he gets summoned to meet with the CEO of this like shadowy corporation that doesn't really give any details on what they do, and offers him a job to go and restore like all these other old tapes that they want restored in this remote location in like upstate New York. But it's like a lot of money for him to go do it. And so he ultimately does accept the position, and the rest of the season is like him working on restoring these old tapes that are all from this one like project that someone was doing on video. And the CEO guy, like, along with being like very shadowy and like, what does his company do? He also knows like a weird amount of stuff about Dan and his like past. It's just all extremely shady immediately. I found myself often starting to watch this show like late at night and then like heading towards bed and realizing that like I absolutely had to watch something else because I was not going to be able to fall asleep if I watched this right before bed. So it's like definitely very spooky and scary.
Looks spooky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very spooky and scary and suspenseful, lots of S words. But
like
sexy.
Like they curse a lot, like they say the S word a lot.
Yeah, they say the S word a lot, but it's interesting. And also, I will say this without giving too much away, it also does some fun sort of
butt stuff.
Did you say butt stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does some fun like timey-wimey butt stuff.
The best kind.
Not like timey-wimey like time travel, but just like when this is not
Time
really
travel butt stuff. Hell yeah.
This is not really much of a spoiler, but he's restoring like videos that are from 1994, and which is like the deep past now, and he and when he's restoring the videos, it also cuts to the perspective of the filmmaker, and you get to also like experience that moment in time as well, like in a in a not just through the camera kind of way, which I appreciate because if I had to watch that much like shaky handy cam footage as part of this show, I would not have finished it probably. So yeah, I like it. I enjoyed it, and I do think that it's probably going to come back for another season. I mean, it set itself up to continue, I would say.
Isn't it like, are you going to renew it? Isn't it your choice?
If it's up to me, I would say renew it. So if someone out there needs to hear that.
Is it not up to you?
Well,
Yeah, we thought you did this.
I thought you were the CEO of Netflix.
you did. Ben.
Is that not
Ben,
your job?
shut up.
Undercover boss.
Sorry.
Yeah, but but yeah, I think if you're looking for something a little spooky to watch to get you through the spring,
Which is
check it
now.
out. I would say, yeah.
That sounds like I might give it a pass just because of the spooky spooks. But
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
fair.
good.
Yeah, I think that's very fair.
Ben, I think I just realized why your chair broke. I literally got a new office chair today, and I think it's like it's like the soul was born and yours is dead.
This is a fucking new chair.
Well, not as new as my
not
chair.
exactly a new chair. It's
See?
new to me.
See?
It was a chair that I got from Kylie's work.
Oh
because
yeah,
they moved
you
to a
told
new
us
office.
about that.
Yes, and it
I
just
can't handle your strong bod.
I was just leaning in it, and it was like, and I was just like stuck in this back position
Oh no.
It farted.
of like leaning like 30 degrees. Yeah, fucking farted all over me. Smells like shit in here.
And it sounded like a juicy one too.
You know it.
All right, that's all I got. That's it. Should we do homework?
Good job. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Fuck
I said
yeah.
that right away at the beginning. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And
that's the
then
very
we
first
went,
thing.
and then we opened Netflix and started reading what the top shows on Netflix were.
Erin, what's your homework, please?
Okay. Sorry, I'm laughing because Chloe sent me a text. I think she meant to say loved your Marco Polo, but she said loved you Marco Polo. And I texted her loved you too Marco Polo. It's making me laugh. All right. What is my homework? I say really watch. This is a recommendation podcast, and I'm recommending Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. Please watch it, you two specifically, and talk to me about it. Text me while you watch it.
Okay.
Maybe I'll be done by then.
Oh, okay.
All right.
How far are you in it?
Just nice. Season 9.
Season
No.
9.
Season 1, episode 9, I think. We're about to watch.
Wow.
Season 9.
Season 9. Okay.
Okay, Ben, what's your homework, brother?
My homework is to get the new
Okay, brother.
Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus,
Okay.
and also to watch the Legend. I didn't even notice the Legends thing was in both my obsessions. Watch the Legend of Vox Machina on
Legendary.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
I think they're both gonna be really good.
Did you say what
And
platforms?
you don't need to know Critical Role to watch that. Do you think?
Hell no, you don't.
Great.
Is Arceus only on Switch or is it also on PC?
It's a fucking Nintendo. It's a Pokemon
Okay.
game. What do you think?
I don't know.
When has a Pokemon
the
game
fuck
ever
are you?
come out on something other
Hannah.
than mobile
Hannah.
or freaking
Have you ever
the
sat
latest
down?
Nintendo console?
Have you ever sat down at a PC and played a Pokemon game?
Gee, no.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. All right, my homework is watch Archive 81 on Netflix if you want to get a little spooked. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Anthropology. I'm on TikTok at Hannah and her cats. And if you want to call us and tell us, leave us a voicemail, tell us your obsession, or text us, you can do all of that at our phone number, 774-326-0420.
Blaze it.
Is it? We're on Twitter at TwoBroadPod. We're on Instagram at WayTooBroad. You can email us if you would like to. Tell us what
Anything.
Anything.
Tell us anything.
Tell us anything. Tell us how much you charge to our PayPal, and what number we can call to fix it. At our email, waytoobroad@gmail.com. If you missed any of that, you can find all of our contact info and episode index and a bunch of fun stuff on our website at waytoobroad.com or waytoobod.com or nameyourselfjame.com for anything you want. earnben.com for anything you need. maxfun.org for a cute dog on a boat. That's pretty springy, more summery, but we're getting there. We're close now. Check out.
Unfortunately, summer is also canceled. We will only be having spring.
No, that's not what that's not what Joby Biden and I negotiated, sir.
Okay, well, he reneged on you.
Yeah, classic Joby Biden.
Last I heard, it's spring only from now on.
Check out Eamon's Bandcamp, aemyn.bandcamp.com. They wrote our theme song. We love it so much. And that's it. So thanks for listening.
Thanks.
I forgot to light the podcast candle again. But it's now and always it is extinguished. Bye. Stay tuned for maybe a book club. I did book club Hello, and welcome to Post Show Book Club with Hannah. I'm Hannah, and this is the Post Show Book Club. I'm only doing one chapter this week because it's kind of late already on Saturday night, and I'm feeling lazy. But I didn't want us to lose momentum, so I'm gonna do it. So the last that we left them, which was last week. Ella was on her way to finishing school with Hattie and Olive, and Hattie had just figured out that if she gave Ella a direct order, she had to follow it, but she doesn't know about, she doesn't know about the curse exactly. You will hear about this. So this is chapter 8. Hattie didn't know about Lucinda and the curse, but she understood I always had to follow her orders. After I rubbed dust in her face, all she did was smile. The smile meant that dust weighed little in the balance of her power. I retreated to a corner of the coach and gazed out the window. Hattie hadn't ordered me not to take the necklace back again. What if I lifted it over her large head? Or what if I yanked it off her neck? It would be better broken than owned by her. I tried. I told my arms to move. I told my hands to grasp. But the curse wouldn't let me. If someone else had ordered me to take it back, I would have had to. But I couldn't will myself to reclaim it. So I made myself look at it as to become accustomed to the sight. While I stared, Hattie stroked the chain, gloating. In a few minutes, her eyes closed. Her mouth fell open and she began to snore. Olive crossed the carriage to sit next to me. I want a present to show we're friends too, she said. Why don't you give me a gift instead? The furrows in her forehead deepened. No, you give me an order. What would you like? I asked. I want money. Give me money. As he'd promised, my father had given me a purse of silver KJs. I reached into my carpet bag and pulled out a coin. Here you are. Now we're friends. She spat on the coin and rubbed it to make it shine. We're friends, she agreed. She crossed back to her former seat and brought the coin close to her eyes to study it. I looked at the snoring Hattie. She was probably dreaming of ways to order me about. I looked at Olive, who was running the edge of the KJ over her forehead and down her nose. I began to long for finishing school. At least there they wouldn't be my only companions. In a few minutes, Olive joined Hattie in slumber. When I was certain both of them were soundly asleep, I dared to fetch Mandy's other present, the book of fairy tales, out of my bag. I turned away from the two of them to hide the book and to catch the light from the carriage window. When I opened it, instead of a fairy tale, I found an illustration of Mandy. She was dicing a turnip. Next to the turnip was the chicken I had watched her pluck that morning. She was crying. I had suspected she was fighting back tears when she hugged me. The page blurred because my eyes filled with tears too, but I refused to cry in front of Hattie and Olive, even if they were asleep. If Mandy had been in the coach with me, she would have hugged me, and I could have cried as long as I liked. She would have patted my back and told me, no, these thoughts would make me cry. If Mandy were here, she'd tell me why it would be big, bad magic to turn Hattie into a rabbit, and I'd wonder again what fairies were good for. That helped. I checked to make sure they were still sleeping. Then I examined the next page. It showed a room that probably was in King Gerald's castle because Char was there and the crest of Curie was painted on the wall above a tapestry. Char was talking to 3 soldiers who had been in the ogre's guard at the menagerie. I puzzled about the meaning. Maybe an explanation would follow. I turned the page and found 2 more illustrations, neither one of Char or soldiers. On the verso was a map of Frel. There was our manor, bearing the legend Sir Peter of Frel. My fingers traced the route to the old castle and onto the menagerie. There was the south road out of Frel, the road we were on now, far beyond the map's boundaries, far beyond the manor of Sir Peter of Frel. The right-hand illustration showed Father's coach, followed by 3 mule-drawn wagons loaded with goods for trade. Father sat atop the coach with the driver, who was plying his whip. Father leaned into the wind and grinned. What would the book show me next? A real fairy tale this time, the Shoemaker and the Elves. In this version, though, each elf had a personality, and I came to know them better than the Shoemaker. And I finally understood why the elves disappeared after the Shoemaker made clothes for them. They went away to help a giant rid herself of a swarm of mosquitoes, too small for her to see. Although the elves left a thank you note for the Shoemaker, he put his coffee cup down on it, and it stuck to the cup's damp bottom. The story made sense now. Okay, something interesting about that part. I can't remember where I read this exactly, but I believe that the inspiration for this book, for Gail Carson Levine, came from basically her trying to come up with those types of stories, like the other side of all types of different fairy tales. I feel like I remember her using this example specifically when I read this, wherever I read it. It must have been like an interview she did at some point. But it was like a project. It was like a writing project for like a class of some kind, I think. And that was her initial prompt, was kind of like exploring sort of the unexplored edges and sides of fairy tales, which obviously has been a rich vein for a lot of people. But this was kind of before, I'm pretty sure this came out before, like, you know, was the book called Wicked too? Like, you know, those like villain-sided books. But anyway, the story made sense now. Your book must be fascinating. Let me see it, Hattie said. I jumped. If she took this from me too, I'd kill her. The book got heavier as I handed it over. Her eyes widened as she read. You enjoy this? The life cycle of the centaur tick? She turned pages. Gnomish silver mining in hazardous terrain? Isn't it interesting? I said, my panic subsiding. You can read it for a while. If we're going to be friends, we should have the same interests. You can share my interest, dear, she returned the book. Our journey taught me what to expect from Hattie. At the inn on our first night, she informed me that I had taken the space in their carriage that would otherwise have been occupied by their maid. But we shan't suffer, because you can take her place. She cocked her head to one side. No, you are almost noble. It would be an insult to make a servant of you. You will be my lady-in-waiting, and I shall share you with my sisters sometimes. Ollie, is there something Ella can do to help you? No, I can dress and undress myself, Olive said defiantly. No one said you can't. Hattie sat on the bed we were all to share. She lifted her feet. Kneel down and take my slippers off for me, Ella. My toes ache. Without comment, I removed them. My nose filled... Page turn. With the ripe smell of her feet. I carried the slippers to the window and tossed them out. Hattie yawned. You've only made extra work for yourself. Go down and fetch them now. Olive rushed to the window. Your slippers fell into a bucket of slops. I had to carry the stinking slippers back to our room, but Hattie had to wear them until she was able to get fresh ones from her trunk. After that, she thought more carefully about her commands. At breakfast the next morning, she pronounced the porridge inedible. Don't eat it, Ella. It will make you sick. She loaded her spoon with the oatmeal. Steam rose from the bowl before me, and I caught the scent of cinnamon. Mandy always put cinnamon in her porridge, too. Why are you eating it if it's bad? Olive asked her sister. I'm hungry. Yours looks all right. I'm eating mine even though it's vile. Her tongue licked a speck of cereal off the corner of her mouth. Because I need nourishment to take charge on our journey. You're not in Olive began. You don't fancy your porridge, miss? The innkeeper sounded worried. My sister's stomach is queasy, Hattie said. You may take her bowl away. I'm not her sister, I said as the innkeeper disappeared into the kitchen. Hattie laughed, scraping her spoon around her empty bowl for the last remnants of porridge. The innkeeper was back with a plate of thick brown bread studded with nuts and raisins. Perhaps this will tempt the lass's stomach, he said. I managed to take a big bite before a lady at the next table called him away. Put it down, Ella. Hattie broke off a corner of the bread and tasted it. It's much too rich. Rich food is good for me, Olive said, reaching across the table. Between them, my breakfast disappeared in 4 bites. That swallow of bread was the last food I had on our 3-day trip, except for tonic. Hattie would have deprived me of it, too, except she sampled it first. And then I relished her nauseated expression when she swallowed. That's the end of that chapter. So, just a big taste of how shitty Hattie is, especially. But I thought that was cool to get more information from the book too. And I think something that is interesting about the book is that it's not really straightforward in how, like, what it shows or why. You'll see more of that later. But there are times when she tries to ask it for certain things, and it's not like an on-demand type of thing, which is maybe part of why it's not considered big magic. I don't know. It's got a bit of a mind of its own. So, yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. And have a great week. Bye.